Your real estate agent should only have your best interest in mind. Okay, whichever side that they're on, right? They should have that side's best interest. So whenever I'm representing a buyer, I'm looking to get them the biggest discount that they can get on that home. Every single thing that I can see that's wrong with the property, I'll bring up to the other side and try to get you a discount on that, right? And then the listing side, on their side, they're trying to make sure that they have enough marketing to get enough attraction and interest that they find some buyers that don't care so much and won't have an agent like me.
You know the difference between an amateur and a professional?
Welcome everyone. This is an impromptu video where I think we're just going to do some stuff. Okay, in particular, we're going to read some of your comments. Look at that, 82 subscribers. Woohoo! We love each and every one of you guys. Thank you all so much. Legit, I do these videos not to like say you guys anything. I mean, obviously, I want you guys to know about Popular Properties. It's my company. That I'm the VP there. But yeah, that's that. All right, let's jump in and read some of your comments, guys. And obviously, this is me. I like to comment on our stuff for the algorithm. It doesn't necessarily work. but that's fine. You guys can leave a comment and help me out if you want. All right. All right. Let's go down to ones that are not from us, though. Huh. Okay. I don't know how to respond to this. I was told not to swear so much. I mean, we just did a video, the one that I was talking about, and I got very passionate about it. And when I get passionate, I obviously use profanity a lot, but I should take that out of my lexicon, I guess. You know, I feel like I do swear a little bit too much, and it does take away. That's in one of the videos, and I don't know where that comment is. Right here, there you go, Murray Gingrich. I'm sorry that we swear so much. I get it. These guys, yeah, it's just legit. Sometimes we get so excited that we forget. I should try to swear less. So Murray, we'll try to do you that favor and take most of our profanity out of these videos, okay? All right, so let's jump back over to Guinness13. F you, been trying to buy a house for 2 years. Stop effing buying all the homes and raising the prices, you jackoffs. All right, so this is kind of what we're going to get all the time. I feel like this dude, this was on the same video. I don't know what was going on, but it's not like that because a bunch of companies are buying homes. That's what's increasing the price and limiting them. It's not that. It's that homes aren't being built fast enough for that buyers, you know, that they're going down in value, right? So like if you look, I guess we'll pull up the Boston yearly statistic. Let's go to the annual reports. This is all data pulled from MLS, right? So like let's increase this so you guys can see more, a little bit more. All right. So right here, right, this is before the 2007-2008 crash. All right. You can see that there was 2,300 properties for single-family homes that were listed in this year. 2,400 in 2006, 2,200 in 2007, right? We haven't had anywhere near that many listings hit the market. That's why homes just keep increasing in value. Like it's not like we're decreasing in population, right? Every year there's more and more people who are being born. So we're exponentially increasing population, but the supply of homes is constantly dwindling, right? So the only thing that's actually going to fix this, right? Because basically you're trading a rare commodity that isn't being built, right? It's like gold, for example. It's basically finite, right? And homes are finite right now. There's not an infinite supply of them. That's why they're going up in value every year. And it's not the companies that are overbidding on the properties. It's legit you guys, the consumer. It's you guys who are overbidding, because when a company buys a property, guess what? They have a certain market that they can't pass. They say, no, this is no longer a profitable investment. We can't do that. That's not how companies operate. Look at what Zillow happened. When Zillow bought a bunch of homes, they started selling theirs at a discount. So like, no, it's not companies that are, you know, increasing the value. It's legit people. You guys are competing with each other and you are constantly overbidding. Constantly. Like, look at this, 101%. This is sales price to original price ratio, right? So, like, you see, like 99%, 99, 100% of the asking price. That's what you guys are willing to pay. And then some years you guys are paying over that, right? These years, this is when interest rates were super duper low. That's why everybody was just outbidding each other. So it's y'all who control the prices. It's not the seller. It's not the seller who controls the real estate price. It's the buyer. And you guys are the ones who are willing to pay millions of dollars for these properties. You can say no, right? You can be like, no, I'm not going to buy that home and I'm going to buy something less expensive, but you don't want to, right? Because you feel like you should live in that $1 million property now, when realistically maybe you should live in a 600K property for a little bit and you'll be better off. But whatever. All right, that's something for the future. That's something that's coming up, I guess, in this video later. But legit, as you can see, the reason that home prices continually go up, it's because every year, like, look at this, almost 10,000 condominiums listed right now. Last year, even on a good year, even in 2021, there was only 7,600. Does that not make sense to everybody? That this is why home prices are so high. The only thing that can help home prices is more and more places being built. But here's the catch to that, is that a lot of homeowners don't want that to happen, because then their homes will actually lose value. So you'll have projects that are saying, hey, let's build 60 condominium units in this, neighborhood that might be some decent amount of them might be affordable, right? And guess what happens? The neighborhood has to vote on that, and they say, no, we don't want that there. We don't want poor people to come and fucking move in. That's legit what happens, and it sucks. And Maury, I'm sorry, again, that was me being passionate. That was me being passionate, because that really does suck. A little background on me. I came here to Boston with my mom and my sister, just us, when I was 2 years old. And like the first place that we moved to was a shelter. So like I came from, not a silver spoon in my mouth. You get me? Like, this is something that I actually really value. Like, I want people to own homes. And if everyone's shooting for these $1 million properties, dude, most of you guys are not going to own a home for your life. For your life. It's not going to happen. Because every year these properties keep on going up. And every year, dude, the only thing that's being built is like condo complexes that are like $1 million condos, right? It's mainly what's getting approved, and it's because the communities aren't sticking together and being like, hey, we want this. Legislation isn't coming in and being like, hey, we need this. All right, let's get back to these. Before I go on a tangent, okay? All right. Also, for that bag, man, the market is terrible. I don't remember what it was referring to, but I feel like I said something silly there. All right. Almost time for the financial apocalypse to start. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I mean, like, we would love it if home prices fell. Legit. We would love it. I mean, not only because we're real estate agents, and if home prices fell, that means a lot more people would be able to buy and we'd make a lot more money. But, I just think that that'd be super beneficial, right? And it doesn't need to be that home prices fall. It just needs to be that more affordable places are being built, right? That's all it is. But I mean, regardless, if more affordable places are being built, then home prices are going to fall. It's like they're attached by a little invisible string, basically. If you get a ton more single families being built, new single families, your home from the 1950s, is probably going to lose a little bit of value. Okay, that's just the way it is. Sorry, but not really. All right, next one. We got NK361. About a month ago. If you were going to buy a house, when do you think it would be a good time to do it? Now? Like, should we wait until interest rates go back down some? How much? Do you think it would be a very long time until that happens, enough to get a good price? All right, so this actually is the comment that made us want to do this video, NK. This is what we want to answer, is stuff like this. People legit asking questions that are decently interested in real estate and finding out whether or not they should buy. We think that you should buy whatever you can buy. Okay, don't hold out for the better home. Like, if you're making like 80 to 100K a year right now, you're likely able to qualify for a home, given obviously your debt to income ratio. Like if you have a lot of debt, you'll be qualified for less. But if you're 100K and you don't have much debt, you should be able to get a home that's like about 300K. And there are a decent amount of options. We think that you should buy that home at 300K and then live in it for like a year or two. And then interest rates will be back down. Obviously, by the end of that time, use that home to leverage into another home, right? Because you can now say that you're renting it out. You'll be able to use some of that income to help you with the next property. Although it is kind of tricky, you might have a lender that gives you kind of some pushback, right? Because you're leaving your residential home to move into another residential home, and they may say that that they can't use the income. The way that I found that you can like kind of go around it is put your home on the market and actually have a tenant ready to move into the place, right? So actually rent out the place, have a lease ready to go. That's a little bit risky because if you don't have something locked down, you'll have to move out of your place or cancel on your tenant, which kind of sucks. So if you have a backup plan or something like that, if you are going to do that, okay. Although it's very, very likely, unless you're being, a little bit picky, it's very likely that you'll be able to find a place within 30 days. There's so many listings on the market all the time that if you can't find a place, it might be because you're just being too picky. Or you're being outbid by a crap ton of people. I almost swore Moray. All right, next one. NK, by the way, thank you. We hope you get to watch this one, and we hope that that you keep on. Oh, wait, I didn't really answer this. When do I think interest rates will drop? I believe we're going to have a Fed rate cut in September. CPI just came out. We just shot a video about that. I'm like legit 40 minutes ago. I'm still in the same clothes that we shot it in. But yeah, interest rates should drop. They should be continuing dropping. I mean, when you wrote this comment, interest rates were at 7.2. So they're now at 6.85, as you can see there. So it's they're definitely moving downwards. If we have a good month in August in terms of like CPI, PPI, and PCE, if those reports come out and they are below expectations, we can definitely get a very strong rate cut coming up in September, and you'll definitely see a bunch of people who are getting back into the market. So the fall is going to be a very tough time. I highly recommend picking up your search right now and trying to lock something in, because even at 6.85, things are pretty affordable. So yeah, try to lock something in before the fall hits us. And if you do have to wait till the fall, I'm sorry, but you will be competing with a ton of new buyers. Like I personally know a bunch of people who are waiting for that. Remember, 5% is everyone's magic number, but 6% is pretty affordable. So if we get under 6.5, you'll see an explosion in the amount of buyers who are in the market. Okay. All right. Next things. All right. This one's by Lewis4951. A very, very happy individual. Tiny homes, van life, off-grid. People are sick of the dystopian-ass corporate reality of lining the pockets of the rich. The process to buy a home should not require a lawyer, notary, 2 real estate people on each side, this and that. All of you are greedy with your hands in the pot. AI will replace your only value, creating a contract. And our response was, what about opening the door? How's AI going to open the door for you, buddy? Well, it's called auto locks, literally. Somebody could just, unlock it from their phone. Be like, oh, you're there? Let me see you. FaceTime me. Boom. Door unlocked. So, AI might replace us, but AI is going to replace a lot of stuff, not just freaking real estate agents, Lewis. Okay? All right? It's not just real estate agents. Whatever industry you're in, likely AI will replace. But let's dig into this one right here. All right? So the tiny homes, van life, off-grid stuff, that's just everybody. That's just people, man. Even rich people sometimes want to downsize, and they feel like they want to disassociate from the world and live off grid. I myself get sick of it sometimes and wish that I could just go to the woods, but I don't have the survival skills for it. All right, Lewis. So not much we can do there, bro. And I'm sorry that you're so mad. I'm sorry that you're so mad about this. The process of buying a home absolutely should require a lawyer and a notary. You know why? Because if you just buy a home without someone doing any due diligence for you and doing your title search, you very well may buy a home that someone has the right to inherit. Did you know that, Lewis? That you can buy a home and someone can dispute it if you didn't do your title search and have your title insurance set up. Someone could come in and be like, hey, actually, my great great uncle 700 years ago owned that land. They left it to me and I actually won it. I need to take you to court. And it could cost you your home, bro. It can cost you your home. So a lawyer, a notary, two real estate agents on each side. Maybe you got something there with two agents on each side. If you are an experienced buyer, you do not need a real estate agent. Is it a decently full-time job to try to find a property and set up all your stuff and do your negotiations and get your contract signed? Yeah, it's pretty much a full-time job. But you are more than capable of doing that. You are completely correct. And it's the same with the seller side. The seller side does not need it. But yet again, it is a full-time job to do these things. And that's why you hire people to do it. Okay? Your real estate agent should only have your best interest in mind. Okay, whichever side that they're on, right? They should have that side's best interest. So whenever I'm representing a buyer, I'm looking to get them the biggest discount that they can get on that home. Every single thing that I can see that's wrong with the property, I'll bring up to the other side and try to get you a discount on that, right? And then the listing side, on their side, they're trying to make sure that they have enough marketing to get enough attraction and interest that they find some buyers that don't care so much and won't have an agent like me. Okay, so find yourself a good agent. Okay, when you're looking to buy, find yourself a good agent when you're looking to sell. Stop being so mad at the world. They did nothing to you, bro. It's not the companies, like we stated earlier. It's not the companies that have made the prices increase. It's the fact that no one's building properties. All right. So if you really want to help, why don't you get your general contracts license, go find some angel investors, and start building some affordable housings, bro. Do that. That's what I plan to do with my future if I ever make it. So do that. All right? Decide that. Leave your negative comments at the door. Actually, no, keep on posting these negative comments. We actually don't mind them. They help us out with the algorithm. Thank you so much for the hate or the love. We rather you guys love us, but we really don't care. All right. Anyways. Oh, also, make sure you watch out for AI. Sign up for your updates because your job is going to, my friend. Murray, yet again, we apologize. All right. These guys, I mean, you're right. You know, everyone should have the right to swear, but honestly, like, it is unnecessary. I swear far too much, and I really don't think that I need to be that aggressive when I'm talking about something that just because I'm passionate about it, you know? So yeah. We'll try not to. All right. We'll try not to. Moving on. We never fixed the 08 crisis. Nah. What you mean, bro? I mean, we already responded to this right here, but we did. I mean, the 08 crisis was truthfully those ninja loans. Ninja loans, just so you guys know what that stands for, is no income, no jobs, or assets. That's what ninja loans stood for. So they were giving out a bunch of loans to a bunch of people that didn't have any way of actually paying for these loans. And the interest rates on those loans would be very, very low for a very, very long time, but they were all maturing at the same time, which was in 07. So in 07, you had a crap ton of properties that were hitting the market. And that's why you see, let's go back to this, right? Those loans were actually starting to mature in 05, 06, 07. That's why you started seeing so many people list their properties because they knew they had to bail. They had to bail on that house and abandon it, or else they were going to be underwater and having to file bankruptcy. All these people that, you know, sold here was too late almost. So, yeah, no, the ninja loans, those things are very, very rare. Like, you have to legit go digging for a shady lender to find one. Okay. And I highly don't recommend doing those. Like, even if you're going to do it to like rent out a property, just get yourself a DSCR loan, right? Accumulate your 20%. Go in on with some friends. Go in with some friends. You and your friends could go and buy a house together. Did you guys know that? if you guys have like a few friends that you want to, maybe start investing in properties, you guys could pool your money together, go buy a property with a DSCR loan, right? And then you guys just, start doing that as a business. Some of you can go in and help out with some of the fixes and stuff like that. Just operate it as a business, and you guys are all just shareholders. Yeah, isn't it crazy what you can do if you're just like educated? All right. Me. Some people shouldn't be allowed to talk. I feel like this guy over here, Sharpie, was talking to himself. Maybe. I think everyone should be allowed to talk. Everyone should have a voice. Everyone should be able to voice their opinion, regardless of whether or not it is stupid. Because you know what? Listening to some stupid opinions sometimes is good. Because it helps you, like, realize, like, maybe you had that similar opinion. And then you hear it and you're like, shit, I'm fucking dumb. So, Sharpie, I don't know who you're talking about, but that's okay. That's okay. Much love. Thank you for the comment. We'll be sure to tag you in this and try to farm your comment again, buddy. Love ya. All right. Where I live in the UK, mortgages are usually cheaper than renting, but many mortgage payers have been caught by the recent interest rate increase as they moved from fixed rate to variable rates. You got to give yourself flexibility in your planning, even if that means buying a cheaper home to ensure you can afford mortgage rates. Afford the mortgage should rates rise after your fixed terms is over. Okay, so this Matt is actually super fucking smart. Damn it, Murray, again, super sorry. Matt is super smart. Matt, you're right. You should definitely buy a cheaper home to make sure that you can always pay for it. But you're talking about variable mortgages, right? So like, let's go back over here. All right. So this is a 30-year fixed mortgage, right? This means that at the end of the 30 years, your loan is paid off. We could actually look at an amortization schedule so you guys can see how crazy this is. Because, like, honestly, if you have a home for 30 years, you end up paying almost double what the home is worth when you take into account of interest. But we'll dive into that later, right? 15-year fixed, again, you're paid off by the end of those years. There's all these, you're paid off by the end of the years. What Matt is talking about is this right here. ARMS, adjustable rate mortgage, ARMS, okay? So, these are weird. They're very, very weird. I don't recommend them. Every like commercial loan is basically an ARM loan, but you don't have to buy a property using an ARM loan, right? Like, I think a lot of people were pitching them just because, they were lower than what rates were, right? They were lower than what rates were typically for everything else. So, people were basically betting. They're like, yeah, I would lock in an ARM, and by the time my ARM is over, rates will be lower and I can just refinance. But that's super risky. So to go back on what Matt says, right? If you bought a home and you have an adjustable rate and you were just betting that rates would be lower, there's a slight chance that rates could end up being higher. And you might have to, pay for that difference in the mortgage. So if you can't afford it, you may want to sell the property, and it gets complicated. So you should always give yourself some cushioning. Just because you're approved for $600K doesn't mean you should buy a $600K home. Just because you're approved for $1 million doesn't mean you should buy $1 million home. You should definitely shop within your means. Always live your life within your means, right? Like, you get paid $1,000 a week. That's cool. That's fantastic. How much of that do you think you can spend a week? Realistically, you shouldn't spend all of it because you got mad stuff that you need to pay for, right? Whatever. That's a whole nother lesson. Little book recommendation: Richest Man in Babylon. I was talking to somebody, made me think about that the other day. So you should always read that book. Read that book. It's fantastic. All right. So Matt, thank you so much for this comment. It's amazing. You are completely correct. You're completely correct. Most people do not buy variable homes, though. At least over here. But I understand that, maybe that's the case in the UK. And that definitely sucks. Matt, also, if you want, let us know what's it like. I heard, I don't know if this is factual. I've never been to the UK and haven't done my research, but I heard that all the land, like you're basically doing like 100-year lease when you purchase, and you can buy the house, but you can't buy the land. Let me know about that. And if you're from there, please. We'll tag you in this video as well. All right. Moving on to John January. 129K a year is not going to get you a house anywhere near Democrat controlled tax. Anywhere near. Democrat controlled tax you to deaf cities. Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta use some commas, dude. All right, 129K a year is not gonna get you a house anywhere near Democrat controlled taxi to death cities like New York or LA. All right, I don't know about New York and I don't know about LA, but let's dive right into it. Okay, we'll just show you Zillow. All right, I'm not gonna show you MLS because I don't know if it's actually like frowned upon for me to show you the MLS listings. I might get fined. I don't know, and I don't want to deal with that because I'm not rich, yo. So let's go to buy. Okay. Zoom out. Looking at Boston. All right. Price. It's maximum. So these are all under 400K. All these places under 400K. Do we need to do like bedrooms counts for you guys? 1 beds, 2 beds. These are homes. These are homes. These are homes, guys. Look at this. 369K on Florida Street. Why wouldn't you buy this? Is this not good enough for you because it only has 1 bathroom? Is it not good enough for you to buy and live in for a year or 2? Right? Like, what's the mortgage on this? What would the mortgage rate be on this? Let me see if I can find my mortgage calculator. Let's see. What was that? 370K? 5% down payment. Let's do it better. 3% down payment. Okay? This should be purchase price. And this should be loan amount. All right. So, whatever. Doesn't matter. So, your 30-year loan. Where's our interest rates? Oh, there you go. Annual interest rate. 0.068. $2,300 in principal and interest. Right? $2,300. Okay? $2,300 in principal and interest. Obviously, you have to pay insurance, you have to pay taxes, and all that stuff. So, let's say with the insurance and the taxes, you're at $2,700 for that 2-bed, 1 bath. Okay, is that completely crazy for you to afford at 127K a year? 127. Let's see. Divided by 12. 10,000. You got $10,000 a month. Okay? Let's divide this by 4, right? $2,600. So a quarter of your fucking income basically pays for this. Again, stop swearing. I'm sorry, but no, man, there's definitely places. There's so many places that people can buy, but it's you guys deciding not to buy them, okay? It's you guys saying that I'm too good for a home like this. That's you. That's you saying that I can't live in this place for a few years. and then in a few years be able to use this income, because guess what, in a few years you refinance that home is at like 5%, your mortgage payments are like maybe 1,800, right? And then what, you rent out the home for 2,500, you got an extra like $700 a month, $8,000 a year added to your income. But you won't do that because you don't want to be uncomfortable. You don't want to have just one bath. You don't want to have to street parking. No, I'm too good. I deserve more. We're trying not to use deserve, because I feel like everybody thinks they deserve everything, but the truth of the matter is that you don't. You don't deserve that castle yet. I want a castle. That's my end goal in life. The end of the when I die, I want to end up with a damn castle. That'd be super duper dope to build one in Puerto Rico. But that's my end goal, bro. I don't think I deserve that right now. I don't think that I should be able to fly to it right now. I have a lot of work to do in order to get there. And that's why I'm happy every time I wake up. Because every time I wake up, I have like a little purpose. All right, what do I do today that's going to get me a little bit closer to that end goal? Right? Why would you even want to achieve everything that you want instantaneously? Right? If there's no bad, if there's no give, the good isn't as good. So, whatever. We're over here preaching philosophy to people. All right. Sorry, John, but you are incorrect. 129K a year is more than enough to find you a place in Democrat-controlled places like Boston. All right. Math isn't mathing. Oh, this fool. Yeah, I guess you can talk crap. I mean, we broke it down for you. We broke it down for you. The math is fucking mathing. Okay. We in our PPP, it turns out like if you look back for Boston, shit. Why don't we just show you, man? Again, I hope you guys didn't pick up that swear. Our swear counter is going through the roof, isn't it? 35-minute video. Hopefully we drop this down a little bit. But BostonPads.com has fantastic statistics for owners. All right, so go over here, landlords, real-time rental market data. And over here, if we scroll down, average rent. Average rent. 2 years ago, from 2 years ago, rent has increased 18%. Okay? In 2 years, rent has increased 18% in Boston, all across the board. All right? That's what made me so mad in that video. Because let's go back to the email data. Right? In that annual report, what did home values increase? Okay, 2 years ago, 765 to 800. Okay, that's not an 18% increase. But your landlords are definitely going to want more because to them that's a business. And it's a business that you can get into if you ever wanted to. Okay, all right, sweet. So, yeah, 18% increase. I mean, like 5% increase from last year, but 18% increase from 2 years ago. Okay, all right, guys. So, look, $2,700 versus $3,200 overall. So let's look at two beds. What are two beds? Average two bed in Boston right now is $3,200. That two bed that we talked about, how much was it again for mortgage? Come on, guys. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Why are we wasting away renting out places when you could have bought the place? You could have bought the place 2 years ago in 2020. You could have bought the place that was like $500K and been fine. And then you could have just leveraged that. You could have just leveraged that and been into a much better home this year. You guys chose not to because you picked comfort over longevity every time. Every time. Comfort first. My longevity and my success second. At least that's what I see from everybody. So, all right, sweet. Math is mathing. Go screw yourself, buddy. All right, tone deaf. When the average American has to be making 129K in the first place to be approved for most house loans, especially in cities like LA and New York. What about the poor people born there? What are they to do with the falling education system, the failing education system, rampant corruption in the courts, and most of no father, black, white, or Mexican? Hot damn, you are listening to a lot of news. As we said, this is more than enough to pay for a home. Okay? More than enough to pay for a home. And this over here, this failing education system and rampant corruption in the courts, I I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that. Leave the city. Yeah. I mean, all right. In all honesty, check. I think that you guys should legit start talking to your legislation. Go visit a town hall meeting and tell them, like, hey, we want more housing. We want more housing. More housing needs to be built. More housing needs to be built. And every meeting you go back and you say, more housing needs to be built. That's the only thing that you can do about this. Legit. Your education system, make sure that, you I feel like the education system isn't really failing the kids. It's only gotten better, and but that's just my opinion. I don't know. I haven't been to school in a very long time, so I don't know. But all I know is that my nephew's pretty smart, so I'm happy with the education system. Do I think things could be a lot better? Yes, absolutely. Do I think it would be fantastic to have a lot more fathers present in homes? Yes, absolutely. But these are things that I can't do about it, so I'm gonna have to move on from this. Very, very sorry. And I'm sorry that you think that it's tone deaf. I don't remember what we're saying. Oh, you'll be paying double in just 10 years. That was that video. Why don't we take a look at the video? Why don't we take a look? Let's just take a quick look at the video.
I mean,
In Boston.
I look at my total mortgage payment now, and it's like it's cheaper
Right.
than what people are renting a 1-bedroom apartment. You know,
Yeah.
When you
Feels
think
good.
about it, if it goes up 5% a year, 10 years, your rent's doubled.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yep.
And if you bought a place and it's 30-year fixed, 10 years, your mortgage payments, as you say, is pretty much the same.
and more importantly, you can do whatever you want to the house. Paint it any color you want.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. All right. So, is it tone deaf? I don't really think so. I mean, is it tone deaf to talk about how his mortgage payment is less than what people are paying for studio apartments? I guess maybe he shouldn't talk about how good he has it because he bought a home a while ago. I mean, when that man bought a home, obviously interest rates were very high. But again, everybody has that thing where it's like, yeah, but cost of living, blah blah blah, how much everybody was making, all that stuff. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because honestly, you can look at it like you could have just bought a home again 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. At any point in time in your lifetime, if you were able to buy a home and you chose not to do it, that's your fault, bro. That's your fault, right? Like, what are you mad about? You could still get into it, and more than likely, homes will still increase in value in the future. There's only one way to fix them is to build more houses. Is that what you're waiting for? You're waiting for home prices to drop and homes to become more affordable because there's a ton of homes being built? Are you scared that like you buy a house now and then in the future it's going to go down in value? So then you're going to be a part of the problem and be the person who's disputing new developments? Like, yeah, yeah. Come on. It was not tone deaf. He did okay. All right. Is that it? Oh, I get it. I'm so dumb. I was in the comments for that video. Yep. Thank you, John. These are all me. Yeah, I don't think we got a lot of comments before then. Hey, we got some. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Interest rates are not coming down anytime soon. 5 months ago. He was right. They didn't come down. I don't know crap about the Boston market other than they sell turkey, mashed taters. I love this. I love this person already. Jeff Rice, you are cool as heck. But I know this. Interest rates went continually down for decades. Cheap money because the boomers were saving and investing for retirement, and they were at the prime earning potential. It stopped as the boomers are going into retirement. This, along with continual inflation from reshoring manufacturing and pretty massive labor shortages, will give the feds little recourse in terms of rates. Demographics will do the rest in, what does that say, tome? In tome for me? Oh, in time for me on the West Coast, and will crush Boston. Oof, oof, oof. All right. Yeah, man. I mean, you're right. Let's go back. We have 30 here. Max. Boom, baby. So this is where all the boomers are talking about, right? Oh, I bought a home 17%. Yeah, but your home was worth like 20K. So big deal. 17% of 20K is nothing, man. Again, I hope you didn't pick that up. All right. Okay. So, yes, interest rates kept on fluctuating up and down, up and down, up and down. But this is a healthy interest rate. Like, bro, don't get it twisted, guys. The only reason rates were down at this low, right, is because the Fed's interest rate was at 0%. They were giving out free money. They said, yo, just pay me what you borrowed. Don't pay me anything more. We know people need it. And you know what that took? It took a whole global pandemic. The whole world needed to be shut down for something like this to occur. Notice that this has not happened in the whole history of this. This is the max. You know why this is the max? Because these mortgages are like a fairly new thing. They haven't been around for that long, everybody. So, yeah, that took a global pandemic. Do not think that you, in your lifetime, are going to see a 2% interest rate again. Okay? I'm sorry that that's not happening. Ooh, super duper unlikely, at least. Okay? But a 4% interest rate is very, very healthy. 5% is totally fine. Okay? Like that's very, very decent. In terms of how interest rates affect home prices, they don't. Okay? Everybody thought that home prices would go down last year and the year before. Interest rates have been high. Okay? Let's actually go back to this. Interest rates have been high since 2022, baby. Interest rates have been high since 2022. They've been going up. They've been going up for 2 years now. It's going to be 1 year, 2 years, and then a decent amount in 2023, 2024. So we're on a 3-year streak of like just increasing. But you know what's happened to home prices? Not much. Not at least in strong cities like Boston. Outside cities like in the suburbs and stuff, like booming towns, basically places that got really popular from COVID because everybody wanted to leave the city and go and get a home that has a backyard. Yeah, maybe their home prices go down a little bit, but it's not going to be a crash. It's not going to be a crash that's home prices drop by that home values drop by a substantial amount, right? Like look at this drop. Look at these charts. I'm sorry, that's actually look. This is home prices. Okay. So here we have 2006, 490, 2007, 502, 444, 433. Okay. So went up pretty swiftly. Obviously, not all towns were like this. Some towns, right, when it went down, it took till like 2015. It took 10 years for some homes to recuperate. But the Boston market, what drives us is everything else. Not our homes. Our homes actually kind of suck over here. But everything else is fantastic. Job opportunities great. Our schools are great. Our hospitals are great. A lot of people come to Boston, and it's a 4-year town. So our home prices will more than likely be safe, my friend. Unfortunately, I don't know how LA will be like, but I hope that it won't be too bad for you, man, because you seem like a pretty funny guy. All right, sweet. Moving on. Private citizen number 4001. It needs to go higher. Housing prices are insane. The income price ratio makes home ownership impossible for most normal folks. Dropping rates will just make things worse. Okay, I get you. I guess most of these like comments are you guys all say pretty much the same damn thing, huh? All right, listen. Interest rates are not going to affect it. This was 5 months ago. Home prices didn't go down in the 2 quarters that have passed. Actually, I think maybe they did. But that was for other reasons. Now, do I think that home prices will go down at the end of this year? Not really. Some neighborhoods, right? We just did data mining for neighborhood specific data, right? Because like when you look at this is kind of crazy. But this is all of Boston, right? This is all of Boston. Boston has so many different neighborhoods. I think it has about 13 different neighborhoods in it. So we started doing data mining for each one of those, and some of those neighborhoods actually did lose value, right? So like homes in Hyde Park are cheaper than they were last year or the year prior. Homes in East Boston, for example, oddly enough, they became a little bit less expensive, right? So there are certain neighborhoods that did lose value, um, but I don't think that the interest rates are going to affect it much. Okay, legit. The only thing that can affect it the way that you guys really want it to be affected, with like a 20% drop in prices, is going to be an influx of new listings. Will there be a huge influx of new listings coming out once interest rates drop? Yes. How many of those? Probably not that many. Right? It's not going to be 2,000 listings. Although, check this out, right? Like, basically, this year, 2022, is missing about 200 listings. 2023 is missing about 400 listings, right? So, like, say this is a healthy year. Let's say that this is a healthy year. So we're missing just about 600. 600 listings that'll come out extra next year or later this year. Who knows? Huge influx, not enough to affect prices in the way that everybody wishes that it would. No 20% drops for you guys, maybe 5 tops. All right. Facts. Thanks, Elif. The best. All right. Still better than the late 70s and early 80s when they were in the 10s. You are correct. But of course, the home prices were a lot. He's talking about interest rates. Ballistic Seeker, who might also be a female. So they are talking about interest rates. Okay. Yeah, the interest rates were pretty high back in the 70s and 80s. We just looked at that. So yeah, it's a lot, but cool. Cool. Home prices were also significantly lower, so it wasn't too much of an issue. Thank you so much, Boston guy. That's our boy Henry. He is the president of ARIA Boston. It's a fantastic nonprofit organization that we fight for fair housing. Every year we go out to DC and try to do a policy summit where we like legit try to argue for different stuff. One of the main things that they did, which is like the reason why I joined, is that they are a part of the No Other bill, which basically, right, like when you go and fill out a loan application, it used to just say white, black, Hispanic, Latino, or other, right? And they took out the other because there's so many other like ethnicities in this world. So they are the reason that you have all of those things. AREAA, okay, global organization. Definitely check them out. They're worth giving your time to if you're looking to be a little bit charitable. All right, that's another one of our shameless plugs. All right, honestly, the rest of these are a little bit older, so I don't think we're going to do them. Sorry. But we'll try to do these in the future, and then if you guys comment enough, maybe we'll do a random. We'll put all the comments in a wheel and then just randomly select which ones. Okay, sweet. That's our comments. What else did we want to show you guys? I guess we already showed you the fact that homes are super affordable. Oh, I guess maybe 400K is a little bit too pricey. Why don't we search for 350, guys? Still 26 results. Jesus. Why don't we search for like 300, guys? Still 11 results. Just in this like commutable area to Boston. A lot more. But yeah, obviously, it's going to be tough to find a place like this. And this listing right here is very, very tough. I think that it's a investment property. No interior photos. You could have access to the inside. It's 199 days old. You would have to buy that property with tenants in place. I'm pretty sure over here, this is a houseboat. You live on a houseboat. Super weird to rent it out, though. But yeah. Look at this. 241. 3-bed, 2-bath. Not bad. A little bit up. 2-bed, 2-bath. 900 square feet. Does it look bad? Yeah. Put some sweat equity into it, yo. Like all of this is within 45 minutes commute to your town. You can't do that for a year. I mean, like, I'll get it. All right. So like maybe some people will have like a family that they have to take into account of, right? And those people, those are the ones that, actually might have issues, right? Because they have to accommodate their family as well. But for all you young people arguing you have no kids, the only thing that you got is a pet, bro, we don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear from you. You have opportunities. You just don't want to do your sacrificing, right? A mother, right? Like a family that has 3 kids, okay? family that has 3 kids, right? Let's say they got to find a 4-bed somewhere. That's when they got to go up. Right? But at 500K, they can find some stuff. Unfortunately, their kids might have to move. So, I mean, I guess now the moral question is, would you move your kids to a different school district in order to become a homeowner? I personally think that it'd be a fantastic thing. Right? Eventually, it's so difficult, though, because then you got to think about you're uprooting your kids and you're putting them into a new place, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, your family becoming homeowners has insane more benefits than you being renters your entire life, just because you wanted to put them through a Boston public school, or like whatever school district that you wanted to be in, because in the future they can use that, like that money that you've accumulated, that equity that you've accumulated, that actually is super beneficial for your kids, a lot more than some of the educations, right? Like I was a theater kid, bro. You know how much money I spent like doing absolutely nothing? Yeah. So, all right, whatever. Guys, that's it. We're done. Thank you guys all for sticking around. We hope to come back and keep on bringing you more good stuff. All right, guys. Later, Gators. Boy. And we end on the camera freezing. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, ending on the camera freezing. Very on brand.
An amateur does it so they get it right. A professional does it so they can't get it wrong.
Hollywood Gold.